Phyrexia. However, for Alex, Merfolk is a pretty bad matchup for Reanimator. Merfolk has a lot of disruptive elements. Cards like Curse Catcher really hurt Reanimator's low amount of lands.
Definitely make it difficult. Although, if he does resolve anything, it's sticking because Merfolk doesn't really have any way to get anything out of play.
Well, he can he's the one Phantasmal image.
He can Phantasmal image to if he gets a legend, or if he gets a non-legend, it can certainly turn the tables. We've been saying before, Phantasmal Image is a really funny card that is, a card coming into M12. People probably didn't think would be one of the most played cards across formats,
especially back to Legacy.
Right.
The card is really powerful, though. I mean, Clone has always been, not that exciting. Phyrexian Metamorph seen a little more play, but 2 mana for a Clone is very strong. And the thing about Phantom creatures is normally when you're targeting them, they're dying, and especially in Legacy, where pretty much everything that targets it is going to kill it anyway.
Yeah.
Why not?
It looks like the Force of Will actually used his Phantasmal Image.
He did.
Did he not have another blue card?
I'm sure he did, but he just didn't want to play that way. So Alex Bertoncini went for Exhume, and Alex Smith forced it, untapped, cast a Silvergill Adept. Animate Dead.
And we have Jin Gitaxias.
Alex Smith, I recommend Force
Looks
of
like
Will.
another Force of Will. So... And he removes, debating between Coral Helm and I can't tell what other card.
A foil card. And now we really won't know.
Now it's gone forever, lost to the overlay of the abyss.
Put in Exile, eh?
Oh, and Alex is brainstorming in response.
And finds a Force of his own.
Did he put 2 cards back?
Yeah, I don't think Alex put 2 cards back.
I don't think Alex put any cards back from that brainstorm.
I don't think Alex put any cards back.
I didn't see... It looked like he just cast Brainstorm and then...
I mean, the guy got a little excited there.
Well, we should probably make sure this is... well...
Okay. Well, now the judge is going to get things resolved. Jarvis Yu says that he thinks Redrew was a card Alex Smith exiled with Force of Will.
So it looks like we were pausing to figure out what exactly happened there.
Yeah, so I think Alex forgot to put cards back with Brainstorm, I'm pretty sure. This is complicated by the fact that he already drew 2 cards up from Jin Gitaxias. Right. Now we'll see what the judge's ruling is.
So the player sort of, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we're going to switch back to us as the judge deals with it. Hey everyone, we're back. Judges can work out the situation. It's kind of complicated. Like the Jin Gitaxias, as usual, complicates things. Looking over these deck lists, nothing too out of the ordinary, that Phantasmal Image from the creatures, but it's worth noting there's 1 Tower of the Magistrate.
Okay, that's interesting.
In the mana-based main deck of Alex Smith's board, and do you know what this card does, Brian?
Yeah, it gives protection from artifacts,
which is very good against Batterskull.
Yes,
Germ Token, protection from artifacts.
That was
Batterskull falls
the
off.
first time I remember hearing about the card. I believe it was when Caleb Durward was playing it, a copy of it in his zoo deck.
Yes,
and fetching it with Knight of the Reliquary, and that basically just blanks all his opponent's Batterskulls for the rest of the game. Pretty impressive bit of technology. It's I mean, with the popularity of Stoneforge Mystic decks, it's certainly a totally reasonable call. It's just a one of land.
Yeah, and I mean, normally Merfolk is really hampered on its blue sources, but Alex Smith felt like he could take a little bit of a risk, and plays 1 Tower of the Magistrate just in case. On the other hand, anything interesting in Alex Bertoncini's list?
I mean, there's a lot of scribbles all over.
A lot of scribbles. There's no lands aren't in the right place.
Everything's just sort of all over, really. But he's playing what I imagine is a fairly standard build of Reanimator these days. Jin Gitaxias being the sort of core reanimation creature, the core augur, and he has Blazing Archon to protect himself, Terrastodon for any sort of troublesome permanence that might come to play, and then Sphinx of the Steel Wind and Iona.
He also has a Phantasmal Image of his own in the sideboard.
He does.
Worth noting.
I guess that's something you can either double up on one of your powerful creatures with, or use to protect yourself from your opponent's reanimation effects.
Yeah, you can do some things. Also, they go for Progenitus. You can Entomb for Progenitus, and Entomb for Phantasmal Image, bring it back, kill their Progenitus. So you have a lot of interesting options there. I've seen some people playing Sheila Dread, but he's not playing with Sheila Dread.
He does have Elish Norn, but no Sheila Dread. Elish Norn's a particularly effective card against say Dredge.
Yes.
Dredge decks that rely on the zombies that they're getting from Bridge from Below. Or if you just get an Elish Norn into play, it's just like, oh.
Or Merfolk or Elves or anything like that. Even against Zoo, it's pretty reasonable. Maybe not the most optimal card in every circumstance, but yeah, I mean, there's some decks you can just completely shut down. You play it against Elves, and they just can't do anything about it. See a Null Rod hanging out in there, a bunch of just Misers one-ofs, it looks like.
Yeah, when you're playing a deck with sort of we're back here. I guess the head judge came over and figured out the situation. Don't know exactly what the result was just yet.
I'll let you know when I find out.
Well, we are back here in this game.
So there was no game loss or anything like that given out.
Yeah, it looks like we backed up to the point where the brainstorm was resolving, or the. Actually, I'm somewhat confused. Oh, okay.
Right, so
we're actually already
we're on Alex
past
Smith's
that turn.
Alex Bertoncini has drawn his cards. Everyone got a warning for that brainstorm. Forgetting to put cards back. Alex Smith, because he just forgot to remind his opponent, it is part of his duty as well. Alex Bertoncini, because clearly he was the perpetrator.
Standard winner box number 5. Please come back to side events. Standard winner box number 5.
All right, and Brainstorm for Alex Bertoncini. I'm sure he'll put the cards back this time.
So he gonna get some extras from Jing attacks at the end of the turn as it is. So
yeah, it's very true. It's almost a question of which card do you want to protect, or make sure that make sure you don't have to worry about discarding in your end stuff because you have so many cards in your hand, or shuffling away with your Marsh Flats. That too.
So it goes and gets a Marsh Flats is an interesting choice here. I guess it gets. Does he already have all the other fetches? I guess there's no basics, so
he's got one swamp.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a swamp
in the middle of the deck list.
Very hard to read this deck list. He has a Marsh Flats before he has like a, I guess, Verdant. He doesn't have a Verdant in his deck. He has no Verdants, but he has a Marsh Flats, and he could get Tropical Island with Verdant, where he cannot get it with Marsh Flats. I'm somewhat confused by that choice. Blazing Archon.
Assume Blazing Archon. Yeah, that's it.
I cannot be attacked, and unless Alex decks himself.
Oh, interesting to note, if Alex Smith saw that Phantasmal Image, he could copy Blazing Archon, and the only out in Alex Bertoncini's deck, I think, is Angel of Despair.
He doesn't have Angel of Despair.
He doesn't have Angel of Despair?
No, if he actually had that, he might have been able to just. Well, he could probably Jing attacks this and.
He's got Trastodon. He has Blazing Archon. So he has no out to if his opponent would have kept that Phantasmal Image and copied, he has no out. Is that correct?
I believe that's true. Although his opponent would have already had to have discarded his hand at that point.
Correct.
Correct. So he could have copied Jing attacks this, but it would have already very much done its damage.
Right. Still cute. For those bunch of people asking on Twitter exactly what happened, the judge backed up to the point where Brainstorm would have put the cards back, and had Alex put the cards back, and then continued along with the turn. Everyone got a warning for that.
So going to sideboard here, how do you think these two players are going to be sideboarding?
Let's see. I definitely see the second Phantasmal Image coming in for Alex Smith here. It's like a good way to deal.
Probably Sower of Temptation. Certainly Relic of Progenitus. I wonder if Lawan is a reasonable card for Alex to be bringing in.
Cute. Probably not.
Probably not.
Back to basics could be interesting, and hamstring Alex Bertoncini's mana. Let's see. Dismember, probably not. GT, no. Relic of Progenitus is certainly a card.
Relic is certainly a card he wants to bring in. What's the power and toughness of Jing attacks?
5/4, I believe.
5/4. So if he wanted, he could bring in Dismember to kill it before Alex would be able to draw the extra cards.
Yeah, that's certainly one route. Although that Dismember is not that great against anything else.
I mean, is Blazing Archon a 5/5?
It's 5/6.
5/6. Okay.
A little out of range. I'm going to double check on Jin-Gitaxias. 5/4, yeah.
Okay, so Jin-Gitaxias can get killed.
Let's see. As far as Alex Bertoncini's sideboard goes, looks like Elishnorn definitely coming in. Probably a Thoughtseize to help force things through a little bit.
Maybe Show and Tell.
Show and Tell, or so Alex has interesting. He has Show and Tell and Xanted Swarm in his sideboard. Both those cards are used as basically extra ways to either Xanted Swarm forces cards through, or Show and Tell just gives you extra ways to put big cards into play.
One thing that Show and Tell is particularly good at is fighting the graveyard hit. If his opponent has a Tormod's Crypt or has a Route to Progenitus, the Show and Tell lets him put his reanimation target from his hand directly into play rather than having to go through the graveyard. Whereas Xanted Swarm is able to stop his opponent from playing counter magic that could otherwise stop his combo.
Right. Yeah, I think about combo decks is you don't want to move too many cards, you don't want to lose anything but really like extraneous silver bullets. Maybe you can shave a card here or there.
So. I think that Sphinx of the Steelwing can come out. It's not really a card that's particularly impressive here. Terastodon can probably come out. So he really wants to be a Jin-Gitaxias, Iona, Elishnorn, Blazing Archon deck, I think.
Iona is pretty hit or miss, yeah. Now you'd be like, well, it's mono blue deck. Iona seems insane, except for Merfolk casts a lot of its spells off Aether Vial, which sidesteps Iona pretty nicely.
And it can also offer just attack past Iona with Island Walk.
Right. So you gotta be careful that way too. Looks like the players are grabbing their opening hands here. We'll see if they have what they're looking for. Let's see some islands in Alex Smith's hand, unsurprisingly.
So Alex looks like he's keeping his hand. Alex looks like he's keeping his hand. So Aether Vial for Alex Smith.
That's a pretty important card for basically any Merfolk deck and any Merfolk start. You want the turn 1 Aether Vial.
It does help him use his mana much more efficiently.
Let's see what Alex Bertoncini has. Turn 1 Brainstorm. 1, 2, and 3. So it's 1 card back, 2 cards back. Oh. Changes one of the cards.
So puts cards back with his Brainstorm this time. And I believe just passes back.
Alright, Merfolk gonna take up his Vial to 1. And it looks like he's got a Wasteland, another island. Oh, just wastes down Underground Sea.
Yeah,
and that's one part of the power of that Vial is Alex Smith can trade Wastelands and not have to worry about still hitting his drops because of that Aether Vial.
He can use Wastelands and still develop his board. He can attack with Mutavaults and still develop his board.
Aether Vial picks up the 2 counters. And Alex Bertoncini still looks like with Aether Vial on the stack is going to crack Misty Rainforest.
Okay.
Getting an Underground Sea.
So this is
going to Entomb.
This is in response to the Aether Vial trigger?
I think it's after it kicks up the 2 before he draws.
Got it.
So he can't Valid Curse Catcher.
Right, that makes sense.
That's actually pretty interesting. Like, make sure you play Red Curse Catcher. Alex Bertoncini knows all the tricks of his own Merfolk deck.
Yeah.
Alex played a Mutavault. Nice, wow, full art Mutavault. Hard to find those.
We're seeing some pretty fancy cards all over the feature match area this weekend.
We're actually just picking our feature matches by nice lands.
Yeah.
That's our theme. Core Helm Commander off that Aether Vial. He's going to level it up twice. So next turn that can crash in for 4 potentially.
This is another use of Aether Vial. Just keeping your mana available to level. Yep. Core Helm Commander, one of the more potent additions to the deck in recent years.
Level up or counter spells theoretically, although most of Merfolk counter spells are also free.
Yeah, it used to be that a lot of Merfolk decks played Standstill, which was a particularly potent card with Aether Vial. That's sort of gone out of fashion, but you still see
Animate Dead on Blazing Archon from Alex Bertoncini.
So
Alex Smith takes a moment to read it. And
looks like Alex Smith
let's
is.
resolve.
I think he has the force of will here. I don't see.
Yeah, I mean, I would instantly force. Unless, the only time I wouldn't is if you think you can soar it and protect it with force or something. weird
Right.
like that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's several land away.
Oh, he's looking for the Oracle text on Anime Dead, which is a fair question because that card is quite wordy.
It is what, enchant dead creature.
Yeah, we don't have those anymore. The short version, if you don't know, is basically you get a creature card out of a graveyard that enchants that creature, and the creature gets -1, -0. And if Anime Dead goes away, obviously so does the creature, and vice versa.
So Blazing Archon.
A 4/6 Blazing Archon. And he lets it resolve. That
Comes into
signals
play.
me he's got soar.
Interesting. So,
Another mutable.
and I believe he ticked his vial up to 3.
Yep. 1, 2. Gonna level his commander up twice. It's on 4.
Leaving up a Mutavault rather than an island.
Just in case.
In case of what? I don't know, but in case.
Never know what you're gonna do. False sense of security. That's what it's all about. And then pass it back to Alex Bertoncini.
So Alex with the Blazing Archon in play. Pretty safe, but still potentially in danger if Alex Smith can steal that Blazing Archon or bounce it in some fashion.
Right. I don't think
So
he has any way
I
to
don't think
bounce
he
it,
actually
though.
has bounce spells. But
Unless
he
he boarded
definitely-
in Submerge just for fun.
for 5 mana.
Yeah. The whole 5 mana.
Pretty
Submerge.
expensive. So
Alex Brazen Horns puts cards back carefully. And looks like he's entombing again. Probably finding Ginger Taxus so we can make sure Alex doesn't do anything sneaky with his hand.
and he entombs for Elish Norn, it looks like.
Elish Norn.
A very powerful card.
Yeah, and against Merfolk, it is absolute breaker. It's good. It's a good answer to say Sower of Temptation.
Yes.
Nice 2/2 creature.
Although
You get it out with a Lord.
yeah, well, no, it's not a Merfolk. It's a fairy. So a Lord doesn't.
Oh, wow,
Lord
that's
doesn't
true.
do it. So there's a Regery. Untaps, and is he at 4 and Sower? And there it is. Sower steals Blazing Archon. And
now it's time to battle.
yeah, now we're getting
Mutavault.
boom
Crunch.
So that's a lot of damage.
That is a ton of damage.
So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 damage, I think.
4 creatures.
That's Merfolk. Merfolk does a lot of damage, a lot of fast.
Not pulling any punches. Alright, so we saw Alex Smith conserve that Force the Will.
Yeah,
We'll see if it works out for
So
him.
Alex needs to get that Elish Norn into play. So
I did L short. Force the Will.
and Force
pitch.
of Will. Does Alex?
Curse
Alex
Catcher.
also has the Force of Will.
Yeah, that's what I think you have to be concerned about if you're Alex Smith.
So Elish Norn comes into play, kills Sower of Temptation, which
Right.
gives Blazing Archon back to Alex Bertoncini.
And now Alex Smith cannot attack.
And-
Alex Bertoncini sitting at a paltry 2 life.
But I don't. Does he have any outs to that Archon anymore?
Yes, this is gonna be rough.
He has Phantasmal Image. He can Phantasmal Image his opponent's Elish Norn. That doesn't do anything. Phantasmal Image his opponent's
Blazing Archon.
and then they're just both sitting there.
Yep. And if Alex can't deal with the Blazing Archon, then the game will just go on forever. Yeah, I doubt he boarded
Attempts
him
to
this
animate
forever.
Jenga Taxis, I believe.
Well,
Oh, no, he animates Sower. Okay.
oh, takes Corhole Commander, killing Marrow Regery.
Yeah, Mirror Regery's dead. So,
Marrow Regery should not be in play right now.
So yeah,
But I'm feeling Alex Smith is going to pick up his cards
I
very
don't
shortly.
think he can win anyway. But yeah, that Regery is dying because it no longer has the +1/+1 from Coral Helm Commander. It becomes a 2/2, then becomes a 0/0 thanks to Elishnorn.
Animate dead, sort of substitution. All right. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
They
realize it's dead.
And Alex Smith concedes.
And there it is.
That's
So
it. Alex Bertoncini takes the match 2-0. Normally bad
reanimates
matchup.
some monsters and takes it down.
Normally bad matchup for Alex Bertoncini with his Reanimator deck, but he knows the Merfolk deck in and out better than almost anybody else in this room, I would say. Probably better than
He
anybody
has
else in this room.
certainly played quite a bit of Merfolk.